In this pot, I have artichokes cooking wedged in with potatoes. See, here's a trick for you. When artichokes bob around in a pan that's too big for you to cook them in, just wedge them in with potatoes, hunks of potatoes, and that'll keep the artichokes upright. And these are cooking in chicken broth. Now, in this recipe, we're only going to use the hearts of the artichoke. So when I put them in the water, I took off most of the outer leaves, and now this just leaves me with these inner leaves, which are extremely tender, delicious. So you can just nibble on those. You don't even have to throw those away. So take these all off. Another way to use these outer leaves is to put a vinaigrette with them. A little bit of oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper. So you take out all these outer leaves, and then you just gently pull this apart. You see? Just like that. And there is that hairy choke again. And we want to take that out. You want to get that out because that you don't want to eat. And as I was saying to you earlier, if we were eating Sicilian artichokes, we would be going through none of this mess. So there is a perfectly cleaned heart. And another tip I should give you is that when you are cooking artichokes in water or chicken broth or whatever, you want to make sure that you squeeze a lemon in the water because that'll help the artichokes retain some of their green color. Now, after you do that, you just take them and slice them up. Now, a lot of people like to fill them just like this, and then they make like a little hors d'oeuvre, a little antipasto, but we're going to be layering these in a casserole with potatoes. So you just cut them up into thin slices like that. So those can go off to the side while we do the next thing. You want to use a good baking potato. That means a fairly starchy potato because this is going to have liquid with it. It's going to have milk. And a starchy potato will absorb a lot of liquid. So I suggest that you use a russet potato for this. And you've seen me use this before. You don't have to have this, but this is something called a mandolin. And it's used a great deal in French cooking, but it's also good for Italian cooking. And if you're going to do this ahead of time, a nice thing to do is to get the potatoes ready and hold them in water. Because if you hold them in water, then they'll stay nice without turning color. And all you want to do is slice up the potato. And now I'm going to take out the extras that I cut up for you and get them dried on a towel. So here they are, because you don't want to put those in wet. And we have a buttered baking dish. And all you want to do is start making a slightly overlapping layer of potatoes, just like this. And you can sprinkle these with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we want to put on our artichokes. So then you start with the artichokes and you put a layer of artichokes on, just like that, and continue going. This makes a really great and a little bit different type of way to have artichokes. And again, a little bit more salt, artichokes, and make sure you make the last layer potatoes. We're going to pour the milk right over this. Pour it over the potato casserole. Look at how beautiful this looks. And now we're going to give this a little bit of cheese. We want to use some pecorino cheese. This is sheep's milk cheese, and you'll know by looking on that rind and seeing the words pecorino. Make sure you're always buying the authentic thing. So grate up some, and you should always grate cheese fresh. Only buy as much as you're going to use at a time. Grate it fresh, and then keep the rest covered in damp cheesecloth and then in a piece of foil in the refrigerator. So now we sprinkle some of the cheese over the top. Now we cover this one with foil tightly. And this goes into a 350-degree oven as well. And I'm going to let this cook for about 30 or 35 minutes. And then I'm going to take the cover off and let those potatoes brown up a little more. And the milk will have been absorbed by the potatoes and the artichokes, and it'll be a wonderful hearty dish.